If you want to make actual money in your business, like real money, not the type where you're thinking, hey, what's left over after payroll, then you need to know your costs going into each job. Because here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. You really don't make the money on the job site. You make the money beforehand in the office. I know you're thinking the office is where dreams go to die in a pile of paperwork. I get it. I have those same piles. But stay with me on this. Your quotes mean absolutely nothing if you don't actually know what you spent. You could say it's like planning a road trip and you decide to take the Hummer instead of a Prius. Now your budget for that road trip is totally shot. That's why accurate job costing is so important. It shows you how much profit you actually made versus how much you thought or guessed you'd make while being overly optimistic when you threw that proposal together on a Tuesday afternoon. See, without it, you might track your business expenses as a whole, but you really have no idea where the profit's coming from, where you're bleeding money, or even how to improve. Now here's the crazy part. Less than 20% of service business owners actually do this properly, which means 80% are basically playing financial Russian roulette with every job, hoping that it always pencils out. But to understand this, we have to appreciate what job costing is. What exactly is job costing? Well, in simple terms, you could say it's comparing the estimated cost of a job to the actual costs of that job. Now, I know, groundbreaking stuff. But here's what makes it critical. Job costing should be done on every single job individually, and not just the ones that went sideways and now you as the owner want to conduct some financial forensic test to see what happened, or not just on the big ones where you think you have a great profit, but on every job. Now think about that for a moment. For every job, you provide an estimate. You calculate the labor, calculate the material costs, you add margin to cover your overhead and have a profit, and then you cross your fingers and hope it all plays out. You give it to the crew to go do, and at the end of the day, some estimates are spot on. Some are going to be way off. Like, how in the world did we spend $800 on lunch type of off? Well, in reality, bad weather hits. The truck breaks down. A new guy spills the paint, or not just a bucket, but an entire unit of paint. Things happen. You may have discounted too much to win the job because the customer told you, hey, we're going to get other quotes. The list could go on and on. Now, where most business owners go wrong is they don't track this information, or at least they don't do anything with it. It just sits there in that magical spreadsheet that someone opened once back in 2022. Reality is you're leaving money on the table because you're not looking at these numbers that show what's actually working. Now, you could say it's like having a treasure map and using that as a simple coaster to put your cup of coffee on. Now, in regards to job costing, there's really a couple goals with it. You see, job costing has three main parts to it, and they're all about making you money. But let's be honest, this is why we're here, is to have a successful business. So goal number one is to compare the estimated costs to the actual costs, so you can improve in your estimating process. You can stop guessing and start knowing. Goal number two is to track profitability for each job, to learn which jobs, which customers, which crews are making you the most money. Now here's a plot twist. It might not be who you think. Goal number three is to find waste and inefficiencies on job sites so you can optimize your operations. Now here's a spoiler alert. You're probably wasting money somewhere ridiculously and you don't even know about it. If your annual budget is your first tool in your financial toolkit, then job costing is definitely a close second. And unlike that nail gun that you just had to have to do this job, you used it once, you will actually use these tools. Let me share my screen with you and show you how to set this up without wanting to throw the computer out the window like we normally do when we track spreadsheets. So here you can see on our screen the opportunity that we have to just create a new account for SolvPro. It's easy. Just click sign up. You're able to fill it out for 30-day free trial. Go to solvpro.com. There's no credit card required. There's no selling your firstborn. It's just free. The link is in the description below. But let me share with you how we can quickly estimate a job, and more importantly, how we're able to know whether we're making money on it or not. So I'll log into SolvPro.com in our demo account, and we'll take a look at a few basic features of SolvPro. For example, we'll just jump straight into estimating. We're going to go to a work order, and we'll take a look at this work order here. Now for us, a work order is really work that has to be done, and a work order is comprised of different components. You have items on that work order, and you have labor on that work order. So to add or edit a work order, you simply click on the feature to add or edit, and as you can see here, we now have a work order, and this is a floor care project, and we're estimating quantity of 5, rate is $250. So our total for the item. Now our labor is very interesting because it can be comprised of individuals or crews. Well, we have an option here, labor estimate. And we can see we have our crews defined, and if we scroll down, we see all of our employees, and then we simply estimate how much time we think this employee will take on this job. So you can estimate either by crews or by employee. In this case, we've said 5 hours for John Smith. And we can see it calculated the total labor for this employee on this job. Now you can add more employees, you can add more items, but let's just follow through in seeing how quickly it is to create an estimate. Well, we have the estimate. It's that simple. Add your parts, add your labor, and the system does the rest for us. We can see our estimated work order is for $1,687. Well, when we're done building the work order, it's fairly simple to look at the numbers. Now what's important is to understand the impact of changes to that work. We have an estimate, we get it approved. Well, now as this job plays out, you want to be able to track labor and changes to those items. Well, if we take a look at this work order, we can see that that is exactly what's happened. We'll take a look at the visit. The visit is the work that actually took place. And we can see for this visit, floor polish was added, a quantity of 2. The unit price is $30, therefore $60 was added. We could also see that a time entry was added, and this time started at 7 in the morning and ended at 6 at night. Therefore, this employee, John Smith, had 11 hours on the project. Remember, we estimated 5. Well, how does this all come together for us? Well, take a look back at the work order. We have this option to look at our cost analysis. Again, we talked about doing it job by job. So on cost analysis, we can see here's what we estimated, labor and parts. We can see here's the parts that actually took place, and guess what? Regarding our cost basis now, our labor is much higher. It's $533. He worked 11 hours versus the 5 hours. Now you do the math, it's fairly straightforward. We added in our operating costs, got our total cost minus retail. We can see our gross profit and our profit margin, all in one screen, all tracked automatically for us. Pretty powerful. Now, when we think about it, I talk to business owners all the time. Business owners always say it's impossible, Scott. It's just too much work to know our actual numbers. Stuff go wrong. Things don't get documented until later. Costs are changing too frequently. Or my dog ate the spreadsheet. Well, that's just ridiculous. You can know how much you're spending on jobs versus how much you're making. Reality is, guys, the game is won and lost in these numbers. It's just that nobody wants to look at them because numbers can be scary, and sometimes they tell us things we don't want to hear. Here's what you need for each job. Estimated revenue, how much you hope to make versus budgeted hours or subcontractor costs. In other words, how long do you think it will take you to do the job? Budgeted materials. Before the crew goes out and says, hey, I need this emergency item, what did you budget? This gives you an estimated gross profit per hour because time is money and money is money. Now you should be able to pull all of these right from your estimate. Now, if you can't do that today, with your spreadsheets. We need to have a different conversation about your estimating process. This can be simple. You need your actuals. Actuals come into play because they give you the cold, hard truth. How many actual hours were worked, including overtime that you weren't planning on? What is the actual material cost? And not only the items you had on the estimate, but that emergency run to Home Depot to buy another item. And then all of your other direct costs for that job. Think of permits, dumping fees, equipment, the thing you forgot to budget for. It should be easy to add that back in so that now you have a good picture of your actuals. Now, if you're missing some of this, don't stress. You see, you have to start with what you have. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a good job costing system. So figure out the rest as you go. Now, you may already have software which does job costing for you, but does it allow you to blend the actuals with the estimated to paint a good picture? You see, QuickBooks has a basic tracking of jobs, the emphasis being on basic. But if you're using SolvPro, job tracking is really built right in for you. You see estimated costs against actuals in real time. And it syncs with QuickBooks, so you're not entering data twice, like some kind of medieval accountant would have you do. Now let me show you again a few features in SolvPro. We go back into SolvPro and look at our screen here. We're gonna pull up our work order again. Now work orders, as we mentioned, is work that's being done in the field. As a user goes out and they enter their time, they start their time for the day, they start their time on a specific job, that data is being linked. Well, for you in the office, you just have to look at the visit that they did, and you'll see specific information, such as under time entries that John Smith started early, 7 o'clock. You weren't planning on that in your estimate. He ended late, 6 o'clock, and he spent a total of 11 hours. Now, every time the employee goes to the job site, it records a new entry. He's able to start and stop his timer. You're collecting that information in real time through the SolvPro app. This is important, tracking expenses by jobs. You could also into here and add extra items. Here's how hard it is. You simply are on this work order visit and you see, hey, I need to add an item that we forgot to put on the estimate. You just start typing. Oh, you know what? Yes, we had to add more floor polish. Click it, it comes up with the description. It's not floor polish here. You actually had to add cleanup agents because you forgot it. And you needed one of those and it cost $75. Hit save. And what you can see now is a new item was added, cleanup agents, $75. That's how hard it is to track your actuals. That could be a permit, that could be a dump fee, it can be whatever unexpected expense happened to that job. Well, then the analysis is done for you. It's that simple. So when we think about this, how accurate are your estimates? You see, where do you save money? Where do you lose money? Where did that $200 mysteriously disappear to? This is where the magic happens, folks. Having the ability to track your actuals in the field easily is key. Now, step 2 to a good job costing system is to track profitability. You see, in tracking profitability for each job, you learn which job, which customers, which crews are actually making you money. And I say actually because I guarantee you that you think you know who are your best customers, but the data might have other ideas. When we look in SolvPro, we can see where we're spending our time. We're spending, adding items in the field because the estimates were inaccurate. You see, SolvPro's tools allow you to analyze performance across the board. You could say it's like having X-ray vision for your business. You see, when you get past the assumptions, now you're able to do job comparison, customer analysis, crew performance. And if you do this on every job consistently, I mean actually consistently, not I'll do it when I have time type consistency, you'll notice trends in areas that you can improve. You can tag projects by job type, crew, and revenue streams. And suddenly you'll start to see the patterns. Like maybe Dave's crew is crushing it, while Mike's crew is, let's just say they're building character instead of profit. Or maybe that great customer who keeps you busy all year long is actually breaking you even, while that one-off job you did in March made you more profit than the last 2 months combined. You see, the reality is, as business owners, the data doesn't lie. It might hurt our feelings from time to time, but it doesn't lie. The data paints a picture that we're able to use to more effectively manage our data. That brings us to step 3. We must use the data. You see, step 3 is really using the data that we've collected, actual versus estimated. Because having data without using it is like buying that gym membership and never going. It just makes you feel guilty. And you're paying to feel guilty. You've got the numbers, you've compared estimates with actuals, and you've noticed some trends that may or may not have made you question your entire business model. But now what? This is where it gets fun. You can use the numbers to drive business decisions, to motivate the need to make changes. More importantly, to increase your profit. Now, this is where you become the hero of your own business story. Now, let's think through a few scenarios. Now, let's say you're a landscaper and you notice that commercial maintenance is making you way more profit than residential installs, like significantly more. Like, where have we been in doing so many residential installs when we could be doing commercial type more? Now you know. Go get more commercial maintenance contracts. They're more profitable for your business. If you're a remodeler and kitchen renos are absolutely killing it on profit while bathroom remodels are barely break even, guess what? You're now a kitchen renovation specialist. That's your forte. It's more profitable. Congratulations on rebranding your business. If you're an excavation company and you notice consistent differences between residential and commercial jobs, like residential jobs always go over budget because homeowners always change their minds, not just once or twice, but 18 different times, you can adjust your pricing strategy accordingly. Now you can tell your team which jobs to go after. You see, looking at the data allows you to refine your ideal customer profile to match those profitable jobs to the ones that you want to take on, so that you know how to make more money without working weekends or doing more actual work. You just do more of the right work because you base your decisions on the data that you've collected. When it comes to materials, maybe you notice your crew is consistently overspending, or they're consistently having those emergency runs to Home Depot. So you investigate and find out why are they overusing the molds or adding unnecessary third coats of paint just to be safe, or treating 2x4s like they're disposable chopsticks. Whatever it is, you now have the data to address the issues and to fix it before it happens on the next job. Now, that's not being cheap or insensitive, that's being smart. That's using the numbers and the data to make business decisions to ensure your profitability. Now, you wanna know something that's really cool with this? A lot of service business owners incentivize their project managers to hit profit margins on each job. But here's the thing, how can you incentivize someone if you can't measure it? Well, now, by collecting your actual numbers to track performance, you can reward the people who are making you money. This makes you a hero. Now, what we've discussed isn't even a complete list of how job costing can improve your business. I can go on for another 30, 40 minutes, but you'd probably click off of this video and I'd be talking to myself. But this should give you a good idea of what you're missing if you're not tracking costs this way. And more importantly, how much money you're leaving on the table. You see, the numbers paint the picture. They allow you to make a good decision. So there you have it in regards to job costing. Your breakdown of job costing that hopefully didn't put you to sleep here, but gave you a little education on how to be more efficient. If you're sitting there realizing this is all stuff that you already know, you need to be doing it, but you're just not getting traction on it. Maybe you started the spreadsheet back in 2023. You've opened it twice. Well, we understand. You see, you need the right system that makes it easy to be able to track these things. Let's be real about it though. You're not going to fix this with another spreadsheet. You're just not. That's not reality. We both know it. SolvPro is built specifically for service businesses like yours, whether it be landscaping, excavation, remodeling, construction, janitorial services, you name it. If you get dirty at work, this is the tool for you. We track job costs. We sync that with QuickBooks, so you're not doing double data entry like it's 1985 again. We give you mobile access, so your crews can update job status in real time from the field. I think we made money on that job. No more guessing where your profit went on vacation to. And because we're bilingual by design, your whole team can use it, English or Spanish, because the last thing you need is a language barrier between you and your profit. Now, the good news is you can try it for 30 days free. No credit card required, no commitment, no risk of a sales guy calling you every day, pressuring you to commit. We're here to help you get up and running with free onboarding, concierge service, and you'll see exactly where your money is going on every job. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And even the, how did we spend that much on supplies? Because look, you don't need to reinvent the wheel here. You don't need to become an accountant. You just need a system that actually tracks what matters in an easy way, so you can get back to running your business instead of drowning in it. So if you want to stop losing money on jobs you thought were profitable, if you want to start making decisions based on real numbers instead of gut feel, cross fingers, click on the link in the description and start your free trial today. Get control of your operations, improve your cash flow, and scale your business without adding administrative burden or hiring 3 more office people just to track the numbers and spreadsheets. And by the way, subscribe to the channel for more ways to stop leaving money on the table. And we'll see you in the next video. Now, go make some profit, the actual kind, not the imaginary kind.